See what,
I think Pasta's got to stay.
I think Pasta's got a head start.
Yeah, I'm going to retire and start playing golf sooner rather than later, I think.
Right.
And the bender this week is Andrew Berkshire.
The bender.
For those of you who don't know who this is, he is a writer who covers Montreal Canadiens for Montreal Hockey Now. And he had a absolutely wild take on Zach Hyman, basically saying that the reason that he scored 50 goals was because he was rich and born on third base, essentially. He had all the advantages growing up. His parents bought a hockey league for him and his siblings to play in. He got the best trainers, NHL caliber training from when he was a little kid. So it's all about the advantages and has nothing to do with the hard work that Hyman puts in or has put in to score over 50 goals at 31 years of age. He's playing with some great players too. And that was brought up by Mr. Berkshire, saying that he was lucky that he was playing with the likes of Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid. The Connor McDavid thing, I'm going to give him credit for, because he was a free agent and he said, where can I go and make some decent money and play with some great players? So he sought out Edmonton and said, I want to play with Connor McDavid. That's a smart guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If your bread and butter is scoring goals at the net front, and you can have Connor McDavid rushing the puck up ice, or Leon Draisaitl, or that power play, and then feeding you pucks at the doorstep, that is brilliant. Right, that is not lucky. That is an excellent job by him and his management team and his agent to get him in a situation where he can take advantage of what he does best.
Sure.
And I don't care if you had $1 million or $50 or $20. You have to put in a tremendous amount of work to make it to the NHL level. I don't care if it was with a silver spoon or a rusty spoon.
Who cares?
Yeah, you have to put in an insane amount of work to get to that level and perform that way. And he goes where you get punished. So it's not like here's some little rich guy that's sitting out on the fringe and flipping shots in from the left wing boards. He is at the net front. Like 75% of his goals are scored basically in the paint. So he's going where you get punished to score goals, but he still goes there and he still scores them. And is that, lucky? Is that being rich? I think that's, fortitude. It's like, I'm going to do what it takes to score a goal. And maybe I'm going to take a cross check for it, but he's still going into those areas and scoring. So I can't believe that somebody would come out and say, oh, the only reason that he's done this is because of, his monetary advances, or stature over other people. Just boggles my mind.
Yeah, I think Andrew needs to check his hymen at the door, because here's the thing about Hyman. You said it yourself. You said it yourself. Is that you were afraid of like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and guys that play with great elite talent, because they do have inflated numbers, and you can make that argument. I'll debate that with you, and it's a fair debate. Fine, but the whole silver spooner thing, just coming at a weird angle on it, like. Yeah, that's. I mean, Zach Hyman is a good hockey player. He's been a good hockey player, and I'm sure he goes somewhere else and do fine. Like, would he score 50 goals or be out of his mind? Probably not. But he'd score 30 probably. Like, he's a good player. Yeah. Like, so yeah, we've had that discussion about getting players off of playing against talent. He's played with two of the best players in the world, maybe the two best players in the world. So he's fortunate for sure. But I don't think it's lucky, like you said, because he picked his spot, and it was savvy, smart move for his career. He's gonna make a lot of money because of it. So good move. But this was weird, and it's one of those, I'm gonna say weird stuff on social media so people will click and follow and viral, and like Vince McMahon said, no such thing as bad publicity. Yeah. So everybody's talking about him. All these people are liking his stuff and retweeting it and all this stuff. Great. Like, good for you, buddy. I mean,
But the whole thing of like pretending like you're some kind of a Robin Hood, like we got to shine the light on all these rich people that, you know, are controlling the sport, and the poor
Yeah, it was
people
like some conspiracy. Yeah,
the poor people can't get into the sport. And yes, hockey is expensive. It
of
is.
course.
It's an expensive sport. My
We've
son
had this
played.
discussion about golf for
Yeah,
years.
I mean, and Formula One, like everything, like sports are expensive. But at the same time, if a less fortunate kid is playing and he's really, really good, the scouts, the people that matter, will find you. They will.
Yes.
If you're a really, really good player, it doesn't matter what team you're playing on. It doesn't matter if you're playing AAU or whatever. They will find you if you're a really, really good player. So, you know, that's still how things work. They'll find the good players, word of mouth, whatever it is. So it's not like, oh, just because you have all this money, that automatically, you know, gets you a D1 scholarship or gets you playing, you know, minor league hockey in Canada or gets you to the NHL. It doesn't work that way. There's plenty of rich people who played hockey that haven't made it. Plenty of poor people that have played hockey that have made it. So, you know, that's really not what it comes down to. It comes down to the dedication and the hard work and the hours that the athletes put in. And that's what it comes down to in the end, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it was a weird take, and there was some things about it, like that he was saying that I agree with, like you can't be anything you want to be and stuff like that. I've said that for years. Like there's stuff like that I agreed with in his take, but that whole, you know, elitist thing is conspiracy was kind of weird. And like you said, like Hyman and Nugent Hopkins and Rob Brown and guys who have had it, Kevin Stevens, who have had inflated numbers because they're playing with great players. Sure. What do you want them not to score goals when they're playing with McDavid? Pass it back. Like, I don't know. So, weird take. And we'll see what happens with Andrew. Good old Andrew. All right. Centennial season spotlight. Let's start the fire.